Yes.
Okay. It says it's recording.
And I believe it is. So welcome
Yep.
back to the Yes Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. I'm Chris Porter, owner of Yes Fitness, and we have a special guest this evening with us, Paul Itter. Paul's been with us since 2001, is what we think we remember. But before we get started here, I just want to let you know that we don't really have any housekeeping this evening, other than we're getting close to Labor Day weekend, and we are going to be closed the full Labor Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's unusual for us to close that Saturday, but with the summer and the COVID and everything, attendance is down, so everybody can have a weekend to sit home alone and do nothing, right?
Nice.
So, nice. Hopefully we get nice weather.
Yep.
Get some nice weather. So Paul is with us this evening. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming on board with us.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
I really appreciate it. Anytime a client gives us their insight about what it's like to be a member at Yes Fitness, because I believe, from what I hear from people all the time, Paul, I always get mixed feedback about what they think we are and what we do. They think we're a bunch of old people working out, first of all. Honestly, they think we're a bunch of old people that, I don't know, sitting in chairs working out.
Yep.
And they don't think that we work hard, believe it or not. I hear that from people all the time. That's
but
crazy.
We sweat,
all right. And I got the AC on. No fans right now, but we do have the AC on.
I know.
If we had no AC, no one would show up. And thank God right now, no masks.
Oh gosh, no, never masks. Can't do it. But you got the layout down to a great science as far as social distancing and everything. Safe environment. Mm-hmm. It's clean. I look forward going there every day that I do go. It just works off so much stress and with COVID this past year, I really want a reset of 2020. I mean, I really want to go back to 2019 and just, whether, if you're a Marvel fan and the Thanos snap or whatever the hell happened this year, just let's go back to 2019 because, anyway, but Chris, you've done an amazing job with, and just in building your business. Like you said earlier, I've been there since 2001. When I first moved to Connecticut back in 2001, I was, I went from like 180 pounds to like 215 in like a year.
Connecticut's good.
Yeah. And my wife at the time said, I was out shoveling one day and I was like, we had some blizzard and she just said, you got to go to the gym down in Burlington because you're going to drop dead of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And so a little bit about me. I've been in the Navy Reserve for about 23 years now. Mm-hmm. The workout program at Fitness actually at Yes Fitness actually helped me on 2 deployments actually to Iraq and Afghanistan. It helped me condition for both of those. And I'm very thankful for all the coaches that helped me actually get into good shape to do that. Life is a roller coaster sometimes, and you have to, adjust to, the things that go on in the world, and, the hits keep coming sometimes in life.
Yeah, you've dealt with a lot of stress since I've known you, a lot of stress over the years. And, when you go back to, having a heart attack, family history is not great.
Sure.
So that's a huge concern for you.
Yep. My dad died when I was 15. He had a massive heart attack. He had a few heart attacks in his lifetime, but wow. and then my mom died when I was like 9. So and I'm the youngest of 8, so I've got almost all my other siblings, but and I know I'm gonna have to take care of them when they get older. So lucky me, but I'm up to the challenge. COVID really, I think a lot of people out there right now dealing with COVID. we're just addressing the mental health issues that are coming back with COVID, in the sense of, people have been socially distancing, and it's not in our norm to be able to do that. And we need to hug, and we need to embrace, and we need to go out. My dog down here, Boomer.
There you go. Dog
he's
lovers see that.
he's my hug buddy right now,
Uh-huh.
and and other than my kids, because I'm socially distanced from my fiance, and it sucks, but you just gotta go and keep doing what you can do. This past, I think it was, I the past few years, I've been I've been working out at Y.E.S, but I didn't really embrace the whole diet program until this past July. And remarkably, I was just plateauing, and I wasn't I just ate like garbage all the time. I ate McDonald's. I ate all that crap. And if my kids wanted McDonald's, I'd eat it all the time. Oh, I love it. McDonald's cheap. Go to the dollar menu. And that is the worst stuff you can actually put in your body. And I know, my fiance told me, you should, you need to drink more water. You need to do all this stuff. And she was right. And I just didn't listen to her. And I just kept just doing what I thought I was, 25, but I'm 50. But hey, Boomer, he, I just finally got on board to say, I've been diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease, which what we can't tell in my history is if I've been this way my whole life. But I did come to my oh shit moment, excuse the language, that if I don't start taking care of myself now, I'm not going to be able to see my grandkids, and whenever they have kids, or see my son graduate high school or my daughter graduate college. And life, this is, your body's your temple, and whatever you put into it to feed your body, you've got to be careful. And when they say, you wouldn't put, crappy gas in your car, so put healthy stuff in your body and work out and work to deal with stress. So anyway,
it always comes to some kind of aha moment. For you, it was that when you really, up until that point, people just struggled. Nutrition is the hardest part. They tell me exercise is the easy part of this.
Right.
Come to the gym. We're going to work you out. You're going to have socialization. You're going to talk to people. You're going to make friends. You're going to feel good when you're done. But, man, you've been eating this way for 49 years, and now you're going to decide at 50 to change the way you eat. And that is tough.
Yeah.
It really is.
And if you're, obviously most people have a family. Kids have, don't want to eat what you're eating. At one time, my goodness, I was making 3 different meals for people. I was like, "What? Am I nuts? Why am I doing this? Either eat what I'm going to put on the table or go to bed hungry." But you can't do that. I mean, your kids got to come first. So.
I hope you don't mind me saying this. I mean, you've been through a lot of struggles. You moved to Connecticut. You were deployed a couple of times. I loved when you would come in the door and say, "Hey, I got to go through my test. We got to get back in shape here again a little bit." You tragically lost your wife to cancer. You're raising 2 young children while going to work, still coming to the gym, working out. I mean, to cook too. I mean,
well,
that's a challenge.
Single dad. It's like, I pat myself on the back, and there are days when I have moments where I lose my shit, and 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 I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan, and there's some stuff that I just don't even want to talk about there. But anyway, and I did, this past year, I have to admit, I overindulged in alcohol, And I think that's been also my big. I'm down to 178 pounds.
Wow.
No, I because of the change in diet and just taking, just a serious commitment to, putting clean, eating clean, and drinking, getting hydrated. That's huge. Um, you know, I, I, it's okay to do alcohol in moderation, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be comfortable with that, and it's definitely a mindset.
Yeah.
Right now with the whole COVID thing, I'm just not there.
Yeah.
But one day I'm gonna get back there, and
Mhm.
my goal right now is I'd like to get down to, like, when I was in Afghanistan, I was about 165 pounds.
Wow.
And yeah, and that was that was 2012. So that was like 8 years ago, right? 2012 into 2013. So 7, 8 years ago. And if I can do that, and maintain, you know, I don't want to go. I don't want my kidney disease to go to stage 4, because
Right.
stage 4 is like, okay, you're gonna start going. You're doing, dialysis and all that
Dialysis. Oh.
stuff. And I've been told I have the kidneys of an 80-year-old. But like I said, I had some issues when I was younger. When I was 9, actually, when I was 9, my mom, my dad, and myself were all in the hospital. My dad had a heart attack back then, and my mom was undergoing leukemia, and she and I were actually both in Johns Hopkins University. I was, for 3 months. I missed like half of my 3rd grade year of school, because they couldn't
Wow.
figure out what was wrong with my bladder and my kidneys. So, um, I wish, we've made so many huge advancements in medical field, and being able to test people, and to see how how they progress. The only thing I can really do is blood tests now, and just keep myself healthy to make sure I don't go to that next level. So, we were talking earlier about the camaraderie of Y.E.S,
Yeah.
and the unfortunately, with COVID this past year, a lot of people elected to either train remotely, and you, as a business, actually were on the tip of the spear, in the sense of setting up Zoom and letting people be able to work out virtually from their home. You can you know you can actually go see the videos as far as the workout and everything. I think that's awesome. I do miss the fact that there are some people that just elected not to come back, and that
Yeah.
I get what, whether they had health issues or what. I mean, we have a big range of people, probably from their early to mid 30s to their 60s or 70s. So
Us, we go over into our 80s.
Actually,
Yeah,
okay.
you just don't see them. They come in the
Oh,
mornings.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about working out there, it's, you know, other gyms say, the no judgment zone. There is no judgment there.
Right.
Do modifiers. If you can't do it, we help each other out, as far as, giving each other encouragement. And it's a great family place, in the sense of being able to build yourself up and take it to that next level of what you want to do. I mean, my personal goals, I would love to have a 6-pack ab, but I don't know at 50 if I can do it. But I'm gonna work on my core, and just get myself in a um, uh, better situation.
Well,
So
the 6-pack starts in the kitchen, Paul.
yeah, okay, all right.
It's all
So,
about nutrition. Where were you at? But I mean, what was your top number recently, before you started the?
I was at, well, like 199.
Oh, you were about 200. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
about
you're doing an
200.
awesome job.
Lost
You're doing an
about
awesome
yeah,
job.
I lost a little over 20 pounds in a short amount of time. And I had always, I told people, I said, look, I even when I was working out, steady and just
Yeah.
plateauing, I'd come home and have 4 or 5 drinks, and it was like, no shit, Itter. If you cut out the booze, and stop eating the damn Doritos, maybe you take some weight off, right?
Do you notice a difference
Oh my
being
God.
hydrated and eating better foods? I mean, do you
Oh
notice a
yeah,
difference?
the brain fog is gone. I got to a point where, well, I wound up losing my job because of kind of COVID and some other issues, but that's another story. And we'll protect the innocent in that one. But I started a new job, and I was the person that was training me. I was not comprehending what the hell was going on, and yeah, it was just because I had this brain fog that I just couldn't. I couldn't get past it, and some of it was the alcohol. I think a lot of it was the diet and just not taking care of myself and just being so stressed about COVID and life and just,
Yeah.
what's going on, and just learning how to manage stress. And it's exercise is huge. I mean, I think, people can probably just do, a 60-minute routine of exercise a day, and it will help with their mental health tremendously and get them on track to a point where if they're on some kind of medication, then maybe they don't have to take it.
Yeah.
Do you have to be on blood pressure medicine if you're working out regularly? You got to
We
keep that stuff in check.
Yeah, there's certainly plenty of studies that show the positive effects of exercise, blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. And we've
Yeah.
had plenty of people that have come consistently, made some nutrition changes, done their exercise, got off their medications. Guys who were diabetics, type 2 diabetes, aren't diabetes anymore. I mean, you exercise with Lynn. Lynn talks about
Yep.
that all the time.
Yeah.
The COVID thing is very interesting to me because when you really, I mean, personally, I don't know who you can believe about anything.
All
And
right.
honestly, I have no idea who you can believe. I'm not taking either side. I'm just saying I don't believe anybody. Okay,
Yeah. I'm
we're
with you.
we're doing exactly what the state says.
Yep.
You're 12 feet apart. We're not busy because of COVID in the summer, so you could be literally 16, 20 feet away from somebody exercising if you wanted to.
Yep.
You don't have to wear masks for that distance. Places, you walk in, it's sanitized. You grab your equipment, you sanitize it. You put it away, you sanitize it. We shoot spray on sanitize it. We sanitize it over the week. I mean, it's constant sanitizing, washing hands, all that kind of stuff. And really, the numbers in our area aren't going up.
No.
They're
No.
not going up. And if you really want to help yourself, if you really want to help your immune system, you should be doing exercise. There is
Right.
no studies. I keep saying this. There are no studies that show that the gym is a place that's going to accelerate the
The COVID virus or anything
COVID
like.
virus. I can't think of the word, but yeah, it's not
Yeah.
going to spread more being a gym. You have a higher chance of being a spread going to the grocery store, going to the
Yes.
gas station, probably whatever. Then they come into our facility, especially us, where we're a small place. We can really control it. I mean, those big guys like LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, and I don't know how they're doing it. I know they're open and they're doing the best they possibly can. And I'm
Yeah.
glad people are going back and working out. But they got a real problem on their hands because how do they control that? You walk on my door, I'm taking your temperature, we're asking questions, I'm telling you where to stand. You know what I
Right.
mean? When you leave, everybody leaves single file. Everybody knows to stay away from each other.
Yep.
It really is
It's a
a
safe
safe
environment.
environment, and
Yeah.
people need to exercise. So now, there's a real correlation between obesity and getting COVID. I mean,
Yes.
the the, the higher you are on your BMI and your obesity 1, obesity 2, the
Yep.
greater chances are that you're going to get COVID. And they're talking about this thing sweeping through here again in the fall. Do you want to be obese? Do you want to increase your chances of getting it? No. I mean, that's
No.
so
Yeah.
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me when you really look at our numbers in our towns and what's going on in our towns and how our businesses in the area are trying to take care of this. That I get people that won't come and work out, but they'll go get their nails done.
Yeah. Right.
Or they'll get their hair cut, which is
Yeah.
fine with me. But don't say, "Hey, I can't work out," because
Yeah. Yeah.
we're as safe as they are, right?
Yeah.
So,
I
um,
think there you've got to really start. You got to find out your reason why,
yeah,
and once you find your reason why, everything kind of falls in place.
yeah,
And it's for me, this past year was one, it was turning 50, and two, and knowing that, I lost my dad when he was like 55, and I'm like, hey, I don't want history to repeat itself. I've got reasons to live. There's things I want to do. There's places I want to go. I want to be in. I'm in this for the long haul. So if I'm going to be in on the long haul, I got to be taking care of myself. And and the fact that I obviously with COVID, and it's no different than the cold and flu season. Wash your hands, people.
Yeah.
Just wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Use common sense, and we'll get through this whole thing. The facility is safer than, like you said, going to the grocery store. Because the grocery store isn't always getting that clean. I mean, I know they're probably the cleanest carts that they'll ever be, but the real issue is use common sense. And the thing is, we can at your facility, we still talk to one another. It's not like you're like in a box that is all closed up or anything like that. You get to socialize, and you get out, you sweat, you get those endorphins going, and you feel so much better. I mean, it's like anything in life. The hardest part is just showing up. And once you show up and everybody gets in a flow, and people start dancing, and they start they start singing along and doing goofy stuff. It's a lot of it's a fun place.
Well, you guys, that particular group, have been there for, I mean,
a long time.
Me and Linda are probably close to 20. I lose track over time. They're probably close to 20 years. Nikki's been around. Her sister worked for me. She's got to be getting close to 20 years. Linda Laporte's been, at least 6 or 7 years with us. I mean, there's a group of people that come in that time slot that, you just feel like family. I mean, when something happens, when, you wonder where they are, how come they're not there? What's going on?
Why aren't they here?
About people. Yeah, I remember the time when you had to, when your wife passed away, you took a little time from us. And, the women always ask me, have you heard from Paul? Have you heard from Paul? How's he doing? Is everything all right? Does he need our help? Have you heard from Paul? I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way we are. We say that we're a family. We really are a family.
Right.
And, when someone new comes in, we take care of them like their family. We're not, don't talk to that person. We don't know who they are.
Oh, give them the stink. They're not lifting right. What's wrong with them?
So when you really think, look at that jerk over there, wearing, right? Look what they're wearing. They're wearing shorts and a shirt, right? So the other thing is this: how many people really can say? I mean, when you really think about it, how many people who aren't gym rats? Okay, it's not like we have people that love to go to the gym, that love working out, that have been at a facility for 20 years. You know what I mean? 15 or 20 years. That's a long time to commit someplace. There's a lot of people like that.
Right. Well, and I think, I don't know, you probably know the statistics better than I do, but at a point in your life, if you start gaining a pound a year, right, at age 50, I mean,
at age 30,
okay,
if you're not doing some kind of working out, especially if you're not lifting weights.
Yep.
And this accelerates if you only do cardio. That's why when women get to their 40, 45, the cardio queens just can't lose weight anymore because they destroyed the muscle mass. At age 30, you start to lose about a half a pound of muscle a year, and you start to gain about a pound of fat if you're not doing anything. And when we get to 50, that accelerates.
Sure.
So at age 50, you've lost at least 10 pounds of muscle, and you've gained 20 pounds of fat. So it's like a 30-pound difference, and you're mushy.
Yeah,
right? That's what happens.
You're the Stay Puft marshmallow person.
Exactly. Exactly.
All squishy. So I guess you also bring up an interesting point in the sense of strength training and lifting weights to. I mean, I do probably I don't do much cardio, and maybe you can actually tell our audience about like how the programs work there. And it's a full range of weightlifting and getting your heart up, and I haven't gotten to the point yet where I want to get to the point where I can wear the heart rate monitor, and I know I'm actually working at my peak performance to figure that out.
When you're doing strength training, or when you're doing metabolic?
Well, doing metabolic, I guess.
Okay, what about? So
Yeah.
this, one of the key, I just launched a course on strength training for longevity. It's Get Strong, Live Longer. It's a 12-week course to help people to learn how to lift weights correctly, so that when you live a little longer, you're going to be able to enjoy those years. Because you want to live to 80 or 90 and you're sitting in a chair, the marshmallow man again, right? What the heck sense is that? So, and I actually have a book coming out on, we'll see when I get it out, but it's close. It's really close.
Awesome.
On the Expert's Guide to Strength Training for Longevity. Because strength training, if we had done it correctly, which I believe we do strength training classes where we lift weights, you improve your aerobic capacity as well. You improve your aerobic capacity as well as maintaining your muscle mass, your bone density, improving balance. All those metrics happen when you do strength training. Actually, if you're an athlete, the most important thing you could possibly do, the most important thing is get stronger. It's the number one thing you can do as an athlete, and everything else falls underneath that. So, that's what's really key. And whenever someone comes in our door, if they're saying, "Oh," I said, "You need to do strength training twice a week. You just got to do this. Lift some weights. You're going to get more aerobically fit. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to tighten up. Things will get better, all that kind of stuff."
Sure.
And then, I don't like to use the term aerobics, but that's what people think or understand. Cardio, right?
Yeah.
We actually do what we call energy system training. So energy system training, when we change your body has basically 3 different energy systems. One energy system lasts for about 10 seconds. Another energy system lasts for minute and a half, and then the aerobic system, which starts over 2 minutes or 3 minutes or so. So when we try to get you tired really quick, we're working a particular energy system. When we let you get tired a little bit longer, we're working a different energy system. And when you work those energy systems, and when you use the heart rate monitor, and we really only get to about 70% of heart rate max. I know there's a lot of math here, but you're actually working aerobically because you're not really coming all the way down and completely getting out of the aerobic zone. So you're killing 2 or 3 birds at one stone with the way that we train people aerobically using heart rate monitors.
Right.
I don't know if any people can understand that, but that's really what's happening. So when you sprint as hard as you possibly can, you're working the ATP PC energy system that lasts for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then that's gone. Now, all 3 energy systems are working all the time, but that's the major energy system. And then from that point to about a minute and a half, we're going to anaerobic glycolysis. And when that kind of energy system stops, you're going to have to slow down a little bit, right? To be able to go beyond running as hard as you can for 2 or 3 minutes. You got to get into an aerobic energy system where oxygen is being utilized as the main energy source for your muscles. So when we do different things and how we train metabolically, we're really training the 3 different energy systems, not just cardio or the aerobic energy system. And for longevity, in your case where you want to live longer, we want to try to build as many mitochondria as we can. So mitochondria are they're like the fuel cells, if you remember from science, way back biology, which I don't remember back then, but I had to learn again. They're kind of like the power packs of our cells, okay? So the more we can build those power packs, the more energy you have, and the more what we call NAD and all that kind of stuff. So it's that type of anaerobic type work when done correctly, when you take a rest with the heart rate monitor and work your way back up and down like that, it really gives you an advantage to increase your body's capacity to live longer. It's much better than going out and run 5 miles. Just much better than that. And, honestly, if you run, the number is if you do about 20 to 25 miles a week running, the benefits, not that it's not good, but the benefits of that training begin to diminish. So you're affecting your longevity by running more than that. If you do like metabolic work, like we do, like a lot of boot camp style work, I just use the word boot camp because people can understand what that is. They don't understand what we do.
It's not the Richard Simmons leg warmers of aerobic.
No, it's not. And we're not doing Jane Fonda.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Or doing the Suzanne Summers Thigh Master.
But if you know when we're using a heart rate monitor, right? And we get up to the red zone and we stop. Well, if you're working at the red zone or above the red, there's no advantage to working above red. There's no advantage to working above 90%. But if you work at that capacity for a total of 30 minutes for the week, like if you just go and you kill yourself and kick your ass constantly, you are now producing, the body almost is like having a heart attack. You're
Yeah.
getting this, you're getting the same damage to your body as you would if you go out and run marathons. And when people done running a marathon and they take a blood sample, if someone was just to look at that blood sample, they would think they were having a heart attack because of
Wow.
what's in the blood.
Because
So
it's that much stress on the body, and
exactly, that stress is too much.
diminishing
So
returns. There's no gain from it.
right. So there's no gain to running 20 and 25 miles more than that a week, unless you're trying to run a marathon, maybe.
Yep.
There's no gain to going out there in 5 or 6 days a week, just falling over, killing yourself in a metabolic workout. It's just, you're not getting in shape any better or any faster, and it's really actually damaging your body, especially for longevity. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and I mean that's the other key component about going to Y.E.S. You get not only do you work out, you get an education along with it, and you
Right.
start to learn your own body and how it reacts to exercise and diet. So, and that's really key. So
Yeah. Yeah, we tell the people and try to teach the people that want to learn, and some people just want to show up and work out and go out, which is fine. Whatever makes them happy, as long
yeah,
as they're getting some exercise in, it's
sure.
really super important. So,
Yeah.
you working out tomorrow night? Are you on Friday night?
Friday night, yep, and hopefully Alan Chandler will be there with. I'll bring his paper towels and stuff like that. He's impressive. I remember his birthday party up at the Y, and
Yeah.
he ran up that damn I don't know, it was like some kind of ramp or something.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, and the guys uh, he put me to shame. But anyway, I think your son did some kind of flip off the thing. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know I didn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff was really hard. So much grip strength involved in that. And it's not
Oh
normal.
yeah. It's a setup. If anybody is in it's the Y in Torrington, and it's like a ninja warrior type setup where they got
Yeah.
the ring and all that kind of stuff. It's a great place, but
Oh yeah, it was an awesome place.
it's a
So I had
great
a
place.
really good time.
Yeah,
We had a
and it
lot
was
of
a
fun.
great place for the Chandlers to have a birthday party. So
So what's your favorite exercise, Paul?
I love the plank, and I love
Yeah.
the scissor kicks, the butterfly,
Uh-huh.
and the seal jumping
Yeah,
jacks,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
guy and all that. And
What do you
then
hate?
what do I hate? I'm not a squatter. And it's taken me a long time, and I've had weak knees, weak. I'm building them up, but it's because of the deployments and
Yeah.
having a very heavy year and stuff like that. It's stress on that. So, but you know what I do miss? I miss the TRX, and if we,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff on the TRX that we were doing before that, there's also that other. I think we're doing it now with the. It's the slides where we bring our legs up to each side.
Oh, like an oblique
Yeah.
crunch with the slides.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I had to do that, and I was just like, and we were doing core for like 5 minutes, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're like, 5 minutes, that's not long, and it's like once you're doing it, it's like it's really long.
It's really different now, and this is what happened to the people who are working out at home.
Mhm.
At home, normally in a facility, we have stations, right? So we have a station for one core exercise. You got to get up and go to the other station. I mean, you typically don't have to wait for a piece of equipment, but just that little bit of rest between exercises. But working out at home and now working out in the pods, you have your own equipment. There's no rest in between. It's
Yeah,
just
I
bang,
actually,
bang, 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 bang. It makes a big difference.
it does. At first, I was like, oh my, the first couple weeks, I was like, oh my God, this is a lot more intense.
Uh-huh.
But it's built up my stamina, and I'm I don't get winded. At one time, I was just getting winded walking up a flight of stairs. I'm like, I'm pathetic. Like, how did I get this bad? But now it's like I walk the dog like 2 miles in the morning every morning, and I'm like, whew, gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
What time are you gonna have to run the next time you got to do your?
Well, well, that's the beauty of COVID right now. Like we're not even doing the BCA, and we're not even doing the PT test. But I'm seriously trying to put in a warrant package. I'm a chief petty officer in the Navy Reserve, and I'm at next October. They're going to give me the boot. They're just going to do my hail and farewell and all that stuff, and because I'm at higher tenure. But I really need the medical insurance, so I'm going to try to put a warrant package in. We'll see how it works.
Uh-huh.
So I have to get that in by October 1st and get some endorsements and things like that. But I think the conditioning will help me, be more fit and ready for that. But because of COVID, we're not doing too much in the way of
Wow.
PT, and that's a serious issue because why do we have a military? To defend our country and our Constitution, and to kill our enemy. So at the end of the day, if you're not fit, you can't serve, right? So
Yeah.
got to be fit, and you got to be able to take out the enemy, take care of your battle buddy out there. So, and another reason to stay working out. And I had the hardest time working out at home just by myself.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. You feed off of the energy of other people in the room.
Yeah.
It's huge. So I'm not a big fan of Zoom. I do Zoom meetings at work now. We do them like 3 days a week. I can't stand them. And some of these people just go on and on about stuff like, dude, it's just not worth it, or I stop, my attention span sometimes like a gnat. So it's like,
Is that when the video gets shut off and they don't see
yeah,
you sleeping?
yeah, I just turn the video off. Yep. And then the people over talking at one another, and it's like, I don't know. I think this big whole experiment of people working from home, I guess it's good. It's good to a degree. I mean, I worked for home actually before my new job. I go in the office every day now. I have an office and my own office. So, but we have to mask up and stuff like that because of COVID. But I like being able to. I'm old school. I like to be able to go into an office and then leave the work there,
Right.
because at one time I was working from home, and I felt like it was 24/7, and you were always responding to your customer base. And if you're in sales, you've got to be always on. And
Yeah.
that talk about stress, and you got to exercise, and you're sitting at a desk. So they say sitting at a desk is now the new cancer, right?
Exactly.
That's
So new
it's like
smoking.
smoking a
Yeah,
cigarette.
definitely.
Yep. It's horrible. And you try to get like a stand-up desk or something like that, but at the end of the day, you got to be getting in 60 minutes exercise every day. And if you don't do it, you're behind the curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's working. I remember, during the COVID thing being shut down, I felt like I just worked. I got up in the morning and I'm on my computer at 6 a.m. and next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock at night and I'm still sitting in this chair, doing my thing. And I noticed something that was really weird. Um, I still worked out because I'm,
Yeah.
during COVID,
Yeah.
but I got really bad. My calves got really tight and they were sore. I mean, I could hard time running, and I'm training for the Masters games over in Willowbrook Park in
Huh,
October,
yeah,
and my calves were killing me, and I'm like, my God, I could hardly run,
yeah,
and it was from sitting all day long. It was
yeah.
just from sitting all day. And the
It's
weekend comes around, you don't even know it's the weekend. You're still getting up at 6. You're on your computer all day on the weekend. It's like I worked harder and made less money. Like it was
yeah.
incredible.
And it's like, well, what's the point? What's the point of
Yeah.
this? And I don't know. Yeah, I think it was try to kill people off. That's one way to do it. you know, You're gonna kill people off. You know, make them work from home and sit in a chair all day, and and just bombard them with emails. Okay, great. This is fun. So,
Boy, that was an incredible amount of emails. I mean,
uh,
everybody was sending you, I mean, us too, just emails about COVID protocol for this and that and this and that. You're like,
yeah,
we're not leaving the house. What kind of
yeah,
protocol can it be? We're
yeah.
not supposed to
Well,
go anywhere.
yeah, and that's what started affecting people's mental health
Yeah.
because they were just like. Then they got to the point where I'm not going out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still probably people out there that haven't ventured out.
Out
They
of the
order,
house.
and look, they order, they can order everything online now. They can they can get their Grubhub delivered. They can eat you can eat your Wendy's and McDonald's, have it delivered, and
Yeah.
it's just horrible. So,
It's
but I
crazy.
do think there are a lot of people that started experimenting with cooking and getting back into
Yeah.
like I know I have plenty of neighbors that went and started growing their own vegetables and doing
Mhm.
things like that, and just getting more. Hey, you know, maybe I don't need to go to the grocery store, but I can grow some vegetables during the
Mhm.
summer and stuff like that. And it's all good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's good
I
stuff.
think that the key thing is if there's any takeaways from this and people are watching this and I hope they are. And I hope I didn't turn them off with all my sad stories because life is actually good and life is good at Yes Fitness. Um, the big takeaway is you got to take care of yourself because
Yeah.
nobody's going to take care of you.
Mhm.
And if you don't take care of yourself, then you're doing yourself a disservice, and obviously you're doing your family a disservice.
Right.
So
And
you
you
know,
got two kids that need you, Paul.
yeah,
Kids that need you.
yeah, and the dog, Boomer,
And a dog. There we go. So before as we wrap this thing up,
yeah,
um, if there was anyone on the fence about coming down and checking us out, Yes Fitness, what would you tell them?
you've got to come down and see the facility. There is no concern about safety or um, cleanliness.
Mhm.
Everything Chris has done met all the standards as
Thank you.
far as the Governor Lamont has laid out in his administration, and it is it it's definitely cleaner than going into a hospital and cleaner than going into anywhere else
Uh,
that I see out there. And it's also clean because he makes you clean the stuff up after you use it. So you and everybody's got a vested interest in this thing to take care of yourself and also to take care of your shipmates in the sense of the people you work out with and taking care of the equipment. So and the instructors go back through and they clean it in between
yeah.
the class. So if you're watching this and you're like, I'm hoping the light bulb goes off in your head and says, you know it's time for change. And the change is uh, I want to take care of myself, and I want to learn how to take care of myself better, and I want to advance my health.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we talk about, old age now being a disease, right?
Mhm.
Um, how you progress in your life. I mean, at age 50, I could still be in the workforce for another 20 years. And then
Yeah.
I could actually be in the retirement force for
Mhm.
another 20 years. So
Yeah.
technically, I got 40 more years, that's a lot of time. I
You want to
mean,
enjoy it.
yeah, well, yeah, and it's all about quality of life and seeing what I've seen as far as the horrible thing Catherine went through and witnessing that and seeing her go from 145 pounds to 90 pounds. I would never wish cancer on my worst enemy, because it is just a horrible disease. And at one time, after she first passed, I was like, I came across people that survived, and I felt like I was so angry that they survived and she didn't. And it was, but I finally came to this I think it was this past year or the year before. I was like, these people survived. God gave them a reason to survive. And you know, Catherine and I went back and forth on religion all the time. She was very science oriented, and and I grew up in a household that was, it was praying and doing that kind of stuff, and our houses and our kids are kind of divided over it, but anyway, where I'm going with this is, you got to believe in yourself, you got to take care of yourself, you got to say your prayers, you got to eat your vitamins, and you got to eat right. So
yeah, great.
And it's okay to have a glass of wine once in a while.
Yeah,
It's just don't
absolutely.
overindulge. So, but
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on board this. Thank you so much for your service for our
sure,
country.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's a special thing when someone does that, because you put yourself in danger to take care of us. So we want to thank you for that, and I appreciate all the kind words. And I'm glad that we've been able to help you through your journey through all these years, because it has been up and down, like everyone else is up and down. And
Yeah.
we'll be there
You
for you
did.
for a long time.
Okay. Thanks,
All right,
Chris.
well,
Thanks for having me.
thank
Okay.
you. So there you have it. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch it this evening. And look for us again next Tuesday for more insight on how to get fit, feel younger, live better. Have a great evening, and everybody be safe. Thanks.
Adios.